Okay, as we start this evening, ladies and gentlemen, I'd ask you to rise and remove cover. We'll begin our hog showmanship this evening with the national anthem. So if you'd please rise and remove cover for our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we...
Which one of these is it? Hang on just a second. Sorry, guys. Yeah, first day, you know? No.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming. And the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Okay, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. As we get started here with our junior hog showmanship, we'd like to introduce our judge for the evening, Mr. John Mendez. He is currently an animal science instructor at Modesto Junior College, where he manages a 60 sow swine unit and is the livestock judging team coach. Again, we'd like to welcome Mr. John Mendez to the Colorado State Fair this evening. Also new this evening for our champion and reserves in junior, intermediate, and senior divisions. Immediately following the selection of our champion senior, we will bring our grand and reserve back for a overall champion. So the champion junior, intermediate, and senior, as well as reserve, following the seniors this evening, we will return for a champion overall showman. That'll be new this year. Again, we had a cell phone found in the men's restroom in the show building here. If you lost, it's a black iPhone. If you lost your cell phone, it's at the announcer's stand. Go ahead and do first call for Flight 2 and the Junior Showmanship. First call.
Test, test, 1, 2, 3.
So what's test, test. So now it doesn't say. Right there.
And it changes. It touches. Test, test. Good afternoon, everybody. It's a pleasure to be here this afternoon to evaluate the young people with their animals here for their showmanship contest. And as you can see, we've started off with the junior division, and that's the young ones, right? And that's a little challenging. These are the newbies. These are the ones that are just getting started, and they're the first ones out of the gate. So nobody knows what this judge wants yet, right? They're gonna figure it out. So the older kids are standing around the ring saying, I better figure this thing out. You better. because you got some time to watch now and figure out what the judge is going to do. But I'm going to spend a little extra time with you guys here in a minute, okay? So I want you to pay attention. I haven't placed anyone yet, but I want you to understand what our goal is. Like, for example, we spent a little time coming in the ring. I said, hey, open those gates, close the gate, okay? My grandfather taught me that a long time ago as a young one. I got hit in the back of the head many times. You open a gate on a ranch, you close that gate every time. So I want to see that deliberate effort. If one of my older kids forgets, pack your bag, go home, you're done. Do not forget to close the gate. Second rule, once you come in this ring, all eyes are on me. I think that's what my wife says as a third grade teacher, right? 1, 2, 3, all eyes on me. If I see you wanting to look at the side of the ring and you want to see someone else, then that's between you and them and you're done, okay? Your eyes are on me. I want to see that you're paying attention to me. I see some of you showing and your eyes are off at a gaze, and I don't want that. I want you to pay attention to the judge, okay, guys? Secondly, use the whip as a guide. Don't get too crazy. Relax, okay? It's a guide. It's not a weapon. Remember that, okay? Take it slow and easy. A lot of you guys are doing a great job out here. If you're in control, you stay calm, you stay cool. Like I tell my kids, you run ice water in your veins, man. You're cool. You got to slow down a little bit. Still be aggressive, but slow down. The goal is to show the pig to the judge 8, 10, 15 feet away, not 4 feet away, not 6 feet away. And I don't want to see him just going back and forth. I want to see some angles. You guys are young yet. I'll work with you on that. But I want to see some differences. Coming at me and going away, do the best you can. Keep your eye on the judge. If I give you a signal of some sort, then I'll have you move your pig to a certain direction. I'll let you know, okay? And lastly, the most important thing, let's have some fun out here, right? Let's give these kids a nice hand as we finish this one up. Test, 1, 2. Okay, let's give these kids a nice hand. They've been getting after it in here. This is our first group, you know, and it's always hard to be the first one, not just to be the junior, but to be the first section. Nobody really knows. Even parents are sitting in the stands saying, what does this judge want? Well, I'm going to tell you, I'm pretty straightforward on this, and showmanship is a very important activity for these kids, and they work hard to get these animals ready for these shows, both in the conformation division and also in showmanship. I realize tomorrow is when these hogs got to be driven for their market show, so I'm not going to waste a lot of time. I'm going to give you enough time to get it done, but we're not going to be out here for too long because we got to keep these pigs going so you have an opportunity to be competitive tomorrow as well. But I think for your first group, you guys should be very proud of yourselves. You guys did a great job out here. You guys are very focused in terms of driving these hogs. Some of you, in terms of the eye contact, was excellent. You know where you need to be. I think the biggest thing I would say to you guys right now, some of you still have to develop a style and a presentation about yourself and your animal. You don't want to attract attention to yourself. You want to attract the attention to your animal in a very pleasant way. And when you do that, you want to do it in where you're showing the pig in more than one direction. A lot of you are just going back and forth in front of me, which is great to start with, but I need to see more than the side-to-side view, okay? That gets boring after a while. You know, the view going away from me, the view coming at me, and the one I really like, the angles, 3/4 going away, 3/4 coming back. Those are different angles. I don't expect you to know all that yet because you're young and you're still getting started, but those are, some of them in here are doing that already, because I can sense they make the turns properly instead of turning them too tight. Hogs look terrible when you make them spin on a dime. You don't want to do that. You want to make a nice gentle turn so that hog looks right. If you want to turn them into you, that's fine. Just make that turn gentle. Make that pig hold together when you do that. When you drive in and you're driving to me, okay, you go past me, get back in my vision again. You know, don't go out there for 15 seconds, then I don't see you for the next 45 seconds because you're behind me. Try to stay in front of me as much as you can as well. But again, congratulations, you guys busted your tails out here. Let's put our hands together one more time for these kids. Okay, here's how it's gonna work. Are you all listening to me? Now you gotta follow this direction, because if you don't get to take the next step. I've written down some numbers that I would like to invite you to come back for a final drive, okay? Does that make sense? If I call your number out, I want to see your show whip go straight up in the air. If I don't see your whip go up in the air, that means you're not invited. Does that make sense? Does everybody know their numbers? Look at your ear tags. Now, there's a chance the judge could have written it down wrong too, but hopefully not. But make sure you pay attention. Everybody got it? Here we go. Give me 1690, 1690 right there. 1620, 1620. There you go, girl. 1352 is next. There you go. And then I have 1411. Where's 1411? And I had to put one young man in here. Where's my 1616? He's right there. Let's give those five a nice hand. They're coming back for the final drive.
Okay, making the cut from Flight 1 will be Riley Harmon from Rio Grande County, Sadie McWhirter from Elbert County, Maddie White from Elbert County, Brooke Vaughn from Weld County, and Shale Stroh from Delta County. Congratulations to our Flight 1 finalists. If you have friends and family, etc., that are not able to attend the Colorado State Fair in person this year, we have Taylor Fort and his crew that are live streaming the event over the next several days with us. Taylor and his guys do a great job. They are available on Facebook. You can search Taylor Fort, or you can search at taylor.a.fort and find it there on Facebook. If you'd like to watch the show on YouTube, you can search Taylor Fort and you'll find the Colorado State Fair. Or you can visit their website, taylorfort.com/live. If you've been to an event that these guys have been at, they do a fantastic job, excellent views, etc. So if you have grandparents, etc., family and friends that are unable to watch the Colorado State Fair this year, it is being live streamed by Mr. Taylor Fort, and it'll be that way throughout all of our junior market events through the weekend.
Okay, folks, another really good group out here. This second group came in here with game face on. Let's put our hands together and tell them thank you for their efforts out here. They've done a hell of a job. You know, it's one thing, a lot of you may have done this a lot, whether, I don't care what species of livestock you're showing, there's a level of practice and skill set that you have to have, and sometimes it's a little luck too, how you and your animal are working that day. And out here I watch these kids, I can see a lot of these kids, they've spent some time walking these animals and working with them, because I watched how the kids use their whips and then how the pig responds to them. What I usually tell the people on the whip, it should cue the pig up, okay? The pig gets used to that routine. When you get to this higher levels, it's very subtle moves that will make that pig go right or left and slow them down or speed them up, okay? And those are the kind of little things that they'll get better at, but a lot of these kids are doing a really good job of that already. The other thing I noticed in this drive, I had a couple of kids that came right in here and made a statement right off the bat. They came in and like, wow, they got it kind of figured out. They stood out. Then they kind of ran into a little difficulty when I moved around the ring. They couldn't get back to me quite as fast. I'm thinking, uh-oh, they're fading. You know, maybe that, but I watched both of them from a distance and they came right back to me. It took them a few minutes and then they stuck to me like glue, you know? And it's kind of cool how these kids will just give themselves time, keep working, got to stay cool. That pig may not want to do exactly what you want that moment, but you got to still work through it. And sometimes you have to ad-lib the script a little bit to get it done, but if these kids have done it, I see a lot of them doing that a lot. Out here, when you're out here, I want to see your intensity, but I want to see that you're enjoying yourself too, okay? If I see that you're all pissed off, I said, I'm not keeping that kid. That kid doesn't want to be here, okay? You could be serious. I'm not a big smiler either, okay? These people say, hey, smile all the time. No. But at least try to look pleasant is what I tell people. And I'm challenged to do that too sometimes. But try to make that look good. But other than that, I want to say another thing that all of you have done well with the help of your leaders and your parents is the appearance of your pigs. I like it. Skin and hair are nice, looking right. You could tell it wasn't just done recently, that it had been worked on for long periods of time before this show was even close, making sure that skin and hair was right. And almost all these hogs have a really good appearance about them, so I commend you guys for bringing them in here and working so hard. Let's put our hands together one more time for these kids. They did a hell of a job. Okay, if you weren't listening the first time, you got to remember, now I'm going to read some numbers, right? You need to know your number. If I read it and your number gets called, you put your stick, your show whip way up in the air so we know you have been officially invited. Okay, let's go with 1288. There you are, young lady, 1288. 1548. There you are, young lady. 1722, 1722. And 1618. Where's that young man at? There he is, little guy. Let's give them all a nice hand. Good job out here, everybody. Great job. Fist pumps faster.
Congratulations. And returning from Flight 2 with Lauren Rushton, Caden Spruill, Maylee McLennan, and Braxton Harmon. Congratulations to our finalists from Flight 2. Again, our Grand and Reserve Junior, we ask that you return immediately following the selection of our Champion and Reserve Senior for a Supreme Overall Showman. Our Grand and Reserve Junior need to return following the selection of our Champion Senior for Supreme Showman. Again, if you lost a cell phone in the men's restroom, Best Mom Ever is currently calling you. So that's a lot of moms in here, I know that. Probably doesn't narrow it down, but if you lost a black iPhone in the men's restroom, Best Mom Ever is looking for you.
Okay, this is the final round of our juniors here, and it's quite a set. These kids have it going on. Let's show our appreciation and put our hands together for them, please. You know, when you get to this level like these kids here, these are young kids that are starting out, but they're better than average, way better than average. The entire group that came in here this afternoon, both prelims were very competitive, and got to the final 9 here, and I was really pleased with what I had, and the ability and the skill sets that these kids were exhibiting were pretty outstanding. I've got 4 in the pin that I'm going to look at here again, so the girls know that they've got instructions. We'll be looking at them one more time. I'm going to start off where my clerk is. Where is she? Oh, ribbon time, so you better get some ribbons out. We're going to start with 5th place, please. Okay, and I'm going to just have you help me out here. This young lady right here is going to be our 5th place entry. Let's give her a nice hand. Hand her a ribbon. This young lady works really hard out here. She's very calm, very quiet, very, excuse me, not invisible, but she's the kind that just keeps doing her thing. That you go ahead and give her the 5th place. I know, but I've got 4 there. I got to give her 5th. I'm starting with 5th, so give her 5th. I promise you, I'll get it right. I promise you. Just do it, I tell you. You'll be fine. Okay, but again, you did a really good job. You kept coming back. I kept seeing you over and over. Probably would have taken you up the line a little further if I had you come to me just a little more consistently and maybe push it up just a little. You know, some of the kids were over driving. In your case, you drive good, but just push it just a little harder next time. If I could see you a little more consistently, I'd get you up the line, okay? Congratulations. Give her a nice hand, please. My 6th place entry is going to be this young lady right here going away from me. She's a good one. Put your hands together for her. She's an outstanding showman. I'd like her to get her 6th place ribbon, please. This one here works really hard, has good control, probably needed to work a little more on the turns and angles a little bit. You drive them back and forth really well for me, but I wanted to see him come at me and then go away a little more consistently. But you were in front of me the whole time. You were very focused, good eye contact. I commend you guys. My other 3 are going to be my 7th place entries. I don't have ribbons for you guys, but I want you to know I wanted you in the final drive because you guys are in the contention for that, okay, guys? So just know that in terms of what you did out here, you did a fine job, and just little things sorted it at the end. But as far as your ability to show, your eye contact, handling your whip, making a positive presentation, you guys all get A+, okay? Let's put our hands together for all these kids in the ring. We'll go ahead and send them back.
As our judge is evaluating our top 4 junior showmen, we want to give a shout out and big thank you to our sponsors of our showmanship division. The champion will receive a buckle sponsored by Big John Septic Service and an award by the Colorado State Fair. So we certainly appreciate those guys stepping up and sponsoring a belt buckle for our champion junior showman.
Okay, folks, let's give these 4 a nice hand. These are our final 4 in this drive out here, folks. And I'm very proud of the 4 girls. They were very, very good, especially for this level. They did a great job. There'll be little things that sorts them. It's personal preference on my part. So moms and dads, between red and white at this point, or blue or green, I mean, it's gonna just be a little bit of luck. But I'm gonna tell you what sorts it here at the end is watching the young ladies, the words consistency, consistency. Driving the hogs and giving the judges many opportunities to see the animal in different views. Now this is a little different level. It's not just going back and forth. It's giving me, like, a couple of young ladies drove to me and I was getting excited. You can almost see the look on my face because I love that view. I mentioned earlier I love the 3/4 view going away, by the way. Hint, hint, older kids. But when you go toward me and you go past me and you're out of my field of vision, and I'm waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting, and my wife says I'm not very a patient person anyway, it's very hard for me. I need to get you back. I turned around in the ring a couple of times. Not a race, not a race, but get there, stay there, and stick it. And then make the next move. But stay within my vision. These are the little things. A couple of you, and I stared at you really hard, I could tell you would take it up a notch a little bit. If my eyes weren't quite on you and I could just see from a corner, a couple of you would just let it down just a little bit. And I know how that game goes. Be careful, okay? The judge is looking for little things. The way you move that hog. Now, the other thing about these hogs, there might be a view that's more advantageous than another. That's what we teach these kids, especially for tomorrow. When you're doing the confirmation class, show them the best views. You know, if I got one that's maybe not quite as wide-chested as he needs to be, I'm probably not going to drive him at the judge quite as often tomorrow, just because I know that's one of his weaknesses. But in this contest, you need to do it, and it's important that you do all the views so the judge understands that you know how to present the animal properly, okay? And I think all of you did the basics very well. It was just some little things that sorted it at the end, and it was a very, very close contest. So I'm going to start with 4th. The young lady right here in front of me, congratulations. She does a great job out here. She's out in the center of the ring as much as any of them. She makes good eye contact with me. Probably could use the ring a little better in terms of going out a little further, not too far, and then make those turns a little gentler too. And you're one that maybe when you're out of my sight, you need to keep pushing. Don't let up. You know, and get them back to me as quick as you can. But you did a flawless job. The pig was out there all the time. You drive that hog extremely well. Congratulations. 3rd place, young lady right here in the center. She's another outstanding showman. Congrats. All business, that lady right there. She studies hard, she focuses, she has great eye contact, keeps that animal in front of me all the time. Little things, probably as far as style and presentation, I just felt the 2 young ladies in front of her were just a little more consistent for me in terms of what they do. It's not that they're better, it's just the way they presented them today was a little more consistent. That would be my analysis of that. But congratulations, young lady. Should be very proud of your efforts, okay? And then it leaves me with the final 2, the young ladies that are left here. The one in front of me is one here that I really like the way she drives this barrel. He's an attractive one when you get him out. In the prelims, she didn't give me as much of the views as I wanted. The final drive, I got a little more. I'd like to see her work those angles a little better for me, but she's learning, and she has good eye contact. She was never out of position, though. She kept that pig in there a lot. This young lady, the next one's another one that's really good. And this is the one when I told you guys in the preliminary, I had a couple kids that had struggled a little bit with the pig that got a little ornery just for a few minutes. This was one of them. And he got out to the perimeter, and I thought, uh-oh, she's going to lose him. You know, she's good, but the pig's going to quit. But she didn't quit. She brought that pig back, and then before I knew it, that thing stuck to me like glue. It wasn't right next to me, but it was in my vision the entire time. She does a good job putting some angles to me once in a while. They all, you know, again, these are kids that are just getting started, so I don't want to be overly critical. You could split these 2 any way you want, guys. I don't care. I wish I could give 2 first-place ribbons, but I can't, so I'm going to give you my preference. Young lady here in front of me, you're the champion. Young lady over here, you'll be reserved. Congratulations.
Congratulations to our junior showman. Your champion is Maylee McLennan. Congratulations. Your reserve is Lauren Rushton. 3rd place is Cadence Spruill. Fourth is Maddie White. Fifth is Riley Harmon, and sixth is Sadie McWhirter. Again, our champion, Maylee McLennan, receives a buckle by Big John Septic Service. Congratulations to all of our junior hog showmen.
Okay, folks, let's give these kids a nice hand. This is our first section of intermediate. These kids are doing a really good job out here, as they all have. One thing I'm noticing with you guys, though, the pigs are growling a lot more in this section than they have in my junior division. And I'm watching some of you guys on your whip usage. I'm going to be real honest with you. You might be really good, but if you're too aggressive with that whip, I don't need you. Okay, I'm not saying you're beating them or abusing them, but if you have to force them too much, it's not your day, okay? These pigs should be, you know, calm and used to being walked and worked with. And when I see that extra force where you're driving extra hard and whipping them too much, I just feels like you don't have them show broke, okay? Now, I know when they get out in this ring, things change a little bit sometimes. And, you know, you got a bunch of pigs out here that you have to negotiate with. It makes it a little more challenging to get an open view when you need it. But I also notice a lot of the kids, my top end kids, stay calm. They go from one view to the next in a seamless fashion. So let me explain that. If you're driving that hog to me, you probably need to stop at about 6 feet and make a change. 5 feet at the latest. If you're in the 3-foot zone, you're in the danger zone. You're too close. So you got to transition from one view to the next. That's what these kids have to start doing. The senior kids already know how to do that. So I can watch you in my field of vision transition from that view, not behind my back for the next 30 seconds, then come back again. I mean, it's better than nothing, but if you want to do it right, you got to plan. You've got one view going, you better plan the next one. It's called show ring management, okay? You got to manage the real estate so you're at the right place at the right time. And remember another thing, when you show, you want to be good at this, you want to be confident, but you still got to be humble, okay? And when you're humble, that means you watch people around you and you try to be as polite as you can, which I refer to as show ring etiquette, and try to work with people. And I watch some of the girls do that very well in here, and I appreciate that, and I recognize that, because sometimes it gets a little crowded. You think it's your world and only you? I don't have a lot of use for that after a while. I mean, I'm not trying to be rude, but I watch closely. It's kind of like how some of us drive cars, you know? You're not about to let anybody in, right? Somebody's signaling, and you're 5 cars back, you're still not going to let them in. Well, that's your choice. In the show ring, do your job, show your hog, but get along with everybody. And a lot of you do that well, so I commend you guys. Congrats. Let's put our hands together for these kids. They did a nice job. Okay, here we got. You ready to go? Know the number. Raise that stick up high. 1407. 1454. Raise that stick up for me. There you go. 1265. And 1663 right there. Let's give those 4 a nice hand. They did a great job. Thank you.
Our finalists from Heat 1 be Mackenzie Swademeyer, Mackenzie Conswall, Audrey Davis, and Emily Gray. Congratulations to our 4 finalists from Heat 1.
On there. There we go. Let's get these kids a nice hand. This is a good competitive drive here. The first drive was good, but this one here, the kids have a lot of good drives going in here. I'm telling you, you could get lost in one like this because there's some good kids in here that are just slightly more methodical and they're just a layer back. And I kind of walk through them intentionally to get to the other side of a few to kind of put you right in front of me. And then when I'm looking at you, and you know that, I mean, I'm right in front of you, it's time to do something. You got to change and give me one different view, okay? If I'm watching you and you're going sideways and you stay sideways, you blew it. You didn't lose it. You didn't lose the contest, but you didn't make points with the judge because I want to see what else I could look at. There's some in here that automatically know. They get to a certain point, they've got it going on already. And that's what sorted some of you guys in here today, was the inability to use the ring to your advantage so the judge could see all the views of that animal and not have to hunt them out. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I can go see them. Like when I'm in a confirmation class, I mean, showmanship helps a lot, but I'm out there and I'm looking at them close and I'm moving all around them. But in showmanship, you're showing me the different views of these animals so I can evaluate them. So I'll come part way, but I need you to do the rest. It's not that you're not trying. You guys are trying really hard and doing a really good job. But it's those little things where I could see those extra views and seeing that animal looking its best is what makes you stand out. Does that make sense? Let's put our hands together for these kids one more time. They did a hell of a job. I'm going to keep 5 out of this one. I want 1611. Put your stick way up in the air. There you go. 1509. There you go. 1312. 1622. Where are you? And 1551 right there. Give them a nice hand. They did a heck of a job.
Congratulations to all of Flight 2, our 5 finalists. Returning for our grand drive would be Ellie Stevens, Kiera Stroh, Brenly Coriel, Briley Sufer, and Tiffany LaPlatte. Congratulations to our 5 finalists from Flight 2. Again, as we working through our intermediates here, if you have family and friends unable to attend the Colorado State Fair this year, Taylor Fort and his crew are doing an excellent job of live streaming the shows for us. They're available to be found on Facebook, YouTube, and on their website. You can search Taylor Fort on Facebook or at taylor.a.fort. If you're on YouTube, search Taylor Fort and you'll find the Colorado State Fair, or visit their website at taylorfort.com/live. These guys do an outstanding job, and we appreciate them being here with us. So if you have family and friends unable to attend the show, it is being live streamed by Taylor and his crew, and we appreciate those guys being here with us.
Okay, let's give our third group a nice hand here. This has been a really good competitive junior show. You know, and every group has their unique characteristics, but if you just stand back and watch these kids, you can't help but be impressed with the quality the kids bring in here. The preparation that's required to make these pigs look like they do it's off the chart. I know what it's like, believe me. I raise a lot of it with my kids and at the college, and my son's a feed salesman. He sells the hell out of supplements to me. We spend a lot of time in the barn to see if we can get them right, and then we try to work on making their appearance with skin and hair as absolutely impeccable as possible. And in many cases here, these pigs do look really, really good. One thing I want to say about this group, you guys did a really nice job presenting them. You got too close to me. I got bumped on 4 or 5 times. Rule number 1, never touch the judge, okay? I mean, we shake hands or fist bump, but your pig, you know, I don't need him going through my legs, you know, stuff like that. That's kind of a bummer, okay? So when you get 5 feet, stop. And I see you make the effort to get them away from me, that scores in my book. But you get them right here, and I got to stop and wait for you to move them, you kind of missed it. And if I walk into him, that's my fault, okay? And I might do that sometimes. But if he comes out of me like a heat-seeking torpedo, I'm like, what the hell? You know, you're supposed to be in control of your animal. So watch it. You want me to see him, but I love, like where that girl is right there, that young man over there, this guy's too close, this one's too close, that one's perfect, this one's too close. You see what I'm saying? That's what I'm usually looking at the second layer. Unless that first layer is right there. Once, that's good. That's good. No closer. No closer. You see what I'm saying? You guys get where I'm at? That's what you got to work on. And then you got to go out to the perimeter a little bit, and I want to see a move. So if you take an angle and you go out there, kind of where the black pig is with the white stripe in the middle, and then she brings them at me, there you go, there you go. Then you go back out again and do something and make them work for me, okay? That's what you're trying to do, okay? Don't get them right up here, then you're just in a traffic jam the whole time, and it really means nothing to me. It's just a bunch of pigs in a circle, okay? So try to work that out the best you can. But again, it's a lot easier said than done. And those of you around ringside who's never shown a pig, you ought to try it. It's a lot easier. It's a lot harder than what it looks. It's not as easy as it looks, is what I'm trying to say. But again, you guys did a hell of a job out here. Let's put our hands together for them one more time, please. Okay, I got 4 in here. You guys ready? Numbers? 1449. There you go. Whoops, there you go. 1669. 1301. And 1844. There you are. All right, let's give them a nice hand, please. Good job, buddy. Thank you. Thank you.
Congratulations to all of our showmen from Flight 3. Our 4 finalists returning to the final drive of intermediate showmen will be Hannah Davis, Riley Joseph, Haley Walker, and Case Chamberlain. Congratulations to our finalists from heat number 3. As a reminder to our intermediate exhibitors, immediately following the selection of our champion senior showman, we ask that our grand and reserve intermediate showmen make their way back to the arena, and we will have a supreme showmanship drive. Immediately following the champion senior showman, we ask that our champion reserve intermediate showmen make their way back to the arena for a champion supreme drive.
Okay, let's give these kids a nice hand on this final drive of our intermediates here. Good drive. I've got 6 in the pin that I want to look at one more time. I felt these peeled off to be my top end. Not to take too much away from these kids right here because they pushed it really hard. But at the end, I wanted to see who wanted it, who could give me those views. One young lady I want to point out, and she's an honorable mention for me because she really made an impression on me, but it wasn't quite enough to make the pin. Was that young lady right there in the middle with the blonde hair. You do a damn good job, young lady. At the end, I just need to see a couple more views from you. And I think I would have put you over. You were right there. You were awfully good. The Calico Pig here, the young lady with the red shirt, another one, just dangerous. Really, really good. Just head toward the end. I needed to see a little longer drive and bring him back and give me some more views, okay? But you were awfully good. All of you guys did some really good things. The 6 that I put in the pin, I just felt were just a little more consistent, had a little more presentation from beginning to the end. But again, all of you out here should be very proud of your achievement at this level because it's a very competitive division, and you guys made the final drive, so be proud of that, okay? Let's give these kids a nice hand. We'll study the top 6. Okay, let's give these kids a nice hand out here. This is a really good final drive out here. A really challenging one, but it was a pleasure to line up. And like I said earlier today about all 6 of these kids out here, you can switch them back and forth a little bit based on personal preference, and I'm not going to argue with you a bit. The only difference between my opinion and your opinion today is I'm getting paid to say something about it to the best of my knowledge, and I hope you accept that. But if you disagree with me, it's okay, because it's that close, believe me. So I don't want to create any issues. I have confidence in my decision, and a given day they can come back, it could change. You know, on a given day there's a little bit of luck, things that I see, things that I don't see. But overall, these 4 gals flat out bring the heat, though. They're damn good. Give them one more nice hand, please. You know, if I were to just critique them just really quick here, young lady with the black hog with the white socks there, she does a great job. She's just very consistent, stays very calm. There's a couple times there she was trying to push the pig a little harder, but in this final she settled back down again and seemed to not overuse the whip, but keep the hog moving very at a very good pace, and he's still working for her too. So, and she put that hog, she had some really good drives, especially coming to me and going away. I really like that a lot. Young lady with the red shirt and the big gilt here in the middle, another one that just really has good eye contact, slow, methodical, but not too slow, keeps her eyes on me the whole time. Her whip gets going a little faster than I want sometimes, but she wants to keep that pig going at the right pace, and I understand that. But in terms of how she drives the hogs, a couple times she maneuvered the pig a little too much early on. She was getting into him a little too much. Let him drive a little longer in the future. You were doing that better in the drive, I thought, here, and I really appreciated that a bunch. But you do a good job. You know exactly what's going on. You do a great job. Young lady with the blue blouse here, shirt here next to me to my left, another really good showman, very focused, very intense. I think does a great job. I want her to work just a little more on relaxing when she moves with the pig, okay? Just to flow a little more. She does good. She's a good eye contact, but maybe just a little more as one unit, as I call it when I talk about it. But she has control of that animal the whole time out here and does a really nice job. The other young lady out here is with the Hampshire Pairing Guild, another really good showman, just slow but sure. Put that pig out there every time for me. Probably a little bit in terms of coming back into my vision sometimes. You took a little longer than I wanted, but you made some really awesome drives on the switch when you took the other person's pig. You drove probably as good as anybody then. I thought that was excellent. This pig's driving good for you, but again, when you transition those views, try to transition them as quickly as you can. But again, it's a close contest. Little things are going to sort it for me today, and so I'm going to go ahead and place them wherever my ribbon lady is. There she is. Okay, I'm going to go with the 4th place contestant at this point. Will be the young lady over on the far side that I just talked about. She does a really nice job out here. She runs out here extremely well for me, and like I said, any given day could win this contest. My 3rd place exhibitor is going to be the young lady with the blue shirt here. She's another one that does a fantastic job. And then it's down to these 2 right here that I thought I saw the most consistently every day. There's a few little things we could change. You guys keep the brushes in your hand, which I like. You kind of keep them invisible a little bit too, though, which I appreciate that. But try to make sure you use the whip to your advantage all the time, and most time you did. A couple times I saw the brush get in your way, just a couple times. If you need to use a brush, of course, that's why you have it, and I want you to use it, so it's not that I don't want you to use it, and I prefer that you have the brush too, but just make sure that it works together. That's just a little thing, but other than that, you guys are just extremely good showmen. It's really close. My preference this evening, young lady in the black shirt, you'll be the champion. Young lady here will be reserve. Congrats. Congrats. Let's bring the pin 3 out. That's first. Well, it doesn't matter. They both come out. This will be my 5th place exhibitor. She's another really good showman. Both these girls are. I mean, they're just as good. I probably didn't see as many different views. She walks methodically with this pig for me constantly. And that pig has a heads-up attitude that I love. Just like to show him off a little more in terms of coming away and then bringing them to me a little more consistent. She did it a couple times, like right now she's about to do it. And boy, that pig looks impressive when she does it like that. And then flip them around again and just keep dancing. It's like a dance. Both of you girls did a fine job, though. Congratulations. Well done. Let's give them all another nice hand, please.
Congratulations in our intermediate division, our champion, and receiving a belt buckle by Big John Septic Service and an award by the Colorado State Fair is Ellie Stevens. Our reserve is Audrey Davis. Our third is Brinley Coriel. Our fourth is Mackenzie Consall. Our fifth is Emily Gray. And our sixth is Haley Walker. Again, congratulations to all of our intermediates, and we would remind Ellie and Audrey both to return to the show arena following the completion of our senior drive for our Supreme Overall Showman. As we get started here with our seniors, we'd like to reintroduce our judge for this evening. John Mendez comes to us from California, where he's an animal science instructor at Modesto Junior College. He also manages their 60 sow swine unit there at Modesto and is the livestock judging team coach. So again, we'd like to welcome Mr. John Mendez this evening to the Colorado State Fair.
Okay, this is our first class, our first section of seniors. Let's give the kids a nice hand out here. They've done a really good job. These are the oldest set. These are the kids that, you know, have the most experience, and doesn't mean they're the best in the fairgrounds, but there should be some of the better kids because they've had a lot of experience. And I evidence that watching you guys do a really nice job. I struggle with this group a little bit though because there's some really good showmen, and you guys need to work on getting your pig back in the game. There's a couple boys I didn't keep I really wanted. If you watch me, I'm not a very good poker player. I was stressed and I was rooting for him because he made some good drives for me, but then he'd go to the 50-yard line. I'm like, damn it, don't go so far away. Bring him back, you know? My eyes aren't that good. And there's a couple of times it happened that way. I'm like, and another young lady, the same thing. She does a really good job, and it was just so long. You're showing the crap out of him, but you're 50 yards away from me, you know? So think about where you are and try to use the ring to your advantage a little bit more. And if I didn't keep you, it wasn't because I didn't like you. It's because I really think you do a good job. I don't want to get in a habit of picking honorable mentions, but I'm going to pick one this time, meaning that you're going to be bridesmaid today, young man. I'm sorry, but at least that you impressed me. It's you. Yeah, you did a good job. I'm going to shake your hand. You just buy tickets closer to the end zone next time, okay? Get them a little closer to me. You did a damn good job. You were working your ass off for me, too. Thank you very much for how hard you worked. The rest of you in here did a really good job as well. But again, the ones that are on target are the ones that just consistently come back to that area in the center of the ring, try to stay the right distance, give me the eye contact the best you can, and then give me the views. And a lot of you did that. And so I came up with 5 numbers that I want to see in the final drive, and that is, please hold your whips up high so we can see that you acknowledge this, please. 1746, where are you? There you go. 1391, where would you be? 1276, where would you be? 1276, right there, young man. 1655, right there, and 1631, right there. Let's give those kids a nice hand. They did a great job.
Congratulations to our finalists from heat number 1, Corey Jenkins, Kylie Kaiser, Garrett Millsap, Hayden Perkins, and Kaylee Pieper. Congratulations to our 5 finalists from heat number 1.
Okay, this is our second set of seniors. Put our hands together for these kids. They worked really hard out here pushing these pigs to the limit, you know, trying to get them shown. One of the issues I had with this drive is that you guys need to open things up a little bit. You guys bunched up to way too much in the center. I was intentionally moving to the side and turning myself sideways from you guys to give you the hint to break away a little bit and then come back. And some of you guys did that and were able to get a few more views. Too many of you guys are just piled in the middle here and you're not making very views. So go around the pile and then come back around. And a couple of you guys did that well, and I could see you from that point. And I'm willing to work with you guys if you're going out to the perimeter and willing to make a drive back in, that's great. But you gotta try to be seen, okay? You can't just follow the other pig in front of you, and that's what some of you were doing. So it was a little challenging for me to sort some of these kids because they've got some pretty good skill sets, but they weren't driving in their own lane. They were crossing over a little more than they needed to, and that made it a little more challenging. But a lot of good effort out here, good quality. The kids are trying really hard, and I commend you guys. Let's put our hands together for them one more time. Okay, here's who I want. Number 1310. There you go. 1249. Okay, your whip up in the air. There you go. 1346. Right there. And 1380, the young lady with the black pig. Where are you? Was that you? No, there, it's you. Okay, a similar shirt, sorry. 1380. Thank you. All right, give the kids a nice hand. We'll send them back. Thank you.
We have 4 finalists coming back from Flight 2 of our senior showman. Riley Spurlock, Chloe Stevens, Alex Eichler, and Austin Wilmer. Congratulations to our 4 finalists coming back from Heat 2. Our senior showmen this evening are showing for a buckle, also sponsored by Big John Septic Service. We appreciate Big John's for sponsoring the champion buckle in all 3 of our divisions. But in addition to the buckle, the champion senior also receives a $1,000 scholarship from Northeastern Junior College should they choose to attend NJC. So we really appreciate NJC being annual sponsors of our champion senior showmen across all of our divisions. They are here this evening to present the award.
Okay, in our third set out here, another competitive set out here. Let's put our hands together for our final set of seniors out here. It's been a great showmanship contest from the young ones all the way to this final set here. This heat was really competitive. I actually kept 5 out of here. You know, the thing that I was trying to say, when you get this good, and you get so many good animals and so many good showmen, you got to try to be consistent and then stand out in a positive way. You have to be careful because you don't want to overshow. Some of you guys are driving those pigs pretty hard, and you can hear them. They're squealing a little harder and harder as time goes. So sometimes you got to know when to feather it in and then when to push. Sometimes when we're making a transition, you know, take that whip off their head for a while and just tap their rib cage a little bit, because they get tired after that neck and head whip forever and ever. They'll get irritated. So I teach my boys and girls, I say, when you got some downtime, play with the rib cage a little bit. And then when you get back into the heat of the action, yeah, the side of the head's where you got to be. But give them a break from it once in a while. You know when to do that at this level. You know when to feather it in, go in and out, okay? That's what helps you get down the road. It's like, you know, running a race. You got to run it strong from the beginning, but you got to finish strong too. And that's the challenge, of course. But again, you guys did a super job out here. The basics are pretty well covered. It's the little things that sort it. So let's put our hands together for all these kids one more time. Okay, 5 numbers. 12, 12. 12, 12. No, give me a whip, not the hand. Give me your whip. Atta, girl. Unless you're not excited about it? Are you excited? Oh, okay. I want to make sure you're excited. 1676. Give me your whip. Come on now, don't be cool. Be excited. 1672. Oh, that's it. You're 76 and she's 72. I knew it was between the two of you. You held your whip. Now I understand why. How about 1608? Wow, you got a good response there, huh? My male gender is represented. How about 1469? Oh, there he is, right there. Give those 5.
Our 5 finalists coming back from heat number 3 in our senior division: Kinsey Bitterman, Ellie Davis, Jake King, Sophia Ritchie, and Owen Bangert. Congratulations to our 5 finalists from heat number 3. as our senior finalists are exhibiting here in their final drive, just a reminder, new this year, we have a champion overall senior showman division. We will bring the grand and reserve from our junior, intermediate, and senior back, and we will show for a grand and reserve overall showman for the 2022 Colorado State Fair. So we will need the grand and reserve from both our intermediate, junior, and senior divisions to return to the ring for a grand and reserve overall showman.
Okay, folks, just had a mic problem here, but we got it fixed. Let's get these kids a nice hand. This is a great final drive of a senior showman out here. You know, as a judge, I always have the pleasure and honor to judge things, shows like this and quality of events like this, and I don't take it for granted. I know what it takes to get to this point. It takes a lot of work and a lot of effort and a little bit of luck too. So I just want you guys to know that when you get to this point, the little things make the difference, especially at this level. I found 6 that I thought were doing the most consistent job for me, and I have them in the pen right now. And you guys did a great job. It wasn't that you did poorly or anything like that. Just weren't quite as consistent as the 6 that I selected earlier, because I have 2 or 3 of you out here that are super smooth, good eye contact, really work hard for me, but maybe doesn't present the animal as consistently for me in the center of the ring when you have a chance to drive. You got to be seen as much as possible, and a lot of times it's your pig might be a little slower moving, which is good to a point, but sometimes that works against you too. So I just want you to know you did very well to get to this point, and the 6 that made it in the pins, on my preference this afternoon or this evening, are fortunate. We're going to look at them one more time, but I just want to say thank you to you guys. Keep up the good work, and you guys can feel really good about what you guys did today. Okay, let's put our hands together for these kids.
as our 6 finalists in our senior division are finishing up here, we'd once again like to thank Big John Septic Service for being an outstanding sponsor of our hog show here at the Colorado State Fair, sponsoring all 3 buckles given to each of our champion division winners. Specifically in the seniors, we'd like to give a big thank you to Northeastern Junior College for their $1,000 scholarship to be handed out to our champion senior showman. Here to give that award tonight is the livestock judging coach at Northeastern Junior College, Lindsay McPeak. She will be handing out this award that is over 40 years in recognition here at the Colorado State Fair. So once again, a big thanks to Lindsay and Northeastern Junior College, as well as Big John Septic Service for sponsoring our Showmanship Awards this evening.
Okay, folks, let's put our hand together for these 6 kids in here. They've done a heck of a job. It's been a great opportunity for me to judge here. I've had many years of judging under my belt, and I think what I truly enjoy about this judging process is working with the kids. I've coached judging teams. I'm a member of the National FFA Livestock Contest. I've been part of that steering committee for 15 years. It's in my blood. I love this stuff. And it's not just the stock. I love breeding stock and making good ones and showing good ones, but it's the kinds of kids that we get as a result of that, how hard they work, how much effort they put into this, and how it just has a huge impact in their life. They don't realize it at the time, but as they grow up and they go to college and they get in their careers and raise their families, you'll see these kids will be very successful down the road because they got off to a good start. It's not just the animals, but it's a series of events and activities. It's the journey, and I'm telling you, these are the kinds of kids that are in this program right now and the quality that's here. So again, I want to congratulate all of you. Let's put our hands together for every kid that's been in this ring today, huh? They've done a hell of a job, and we're very proud of them. These 6 are the ones that are going to represent the senior side of things, and I got the 2 boys that cracked the top 6, and you guys were damn good. The girls pushed a little harder at the end. That's it. That was all I'd say. Okay, guys? So don't take it personally, okay? Because you guys are right there. It's very close. I'll talk to you about you guys in a minute. But these 4 are pretty tight. It's a little challenging to sort. It's personal preference. Just talk about them briefly, if I may. Young lady directly in front of me with the Hampshire Appearing Barrow. Just a very consistent, quiet, diligent showman that tries really hard. Doesn't change high or low much at all. She's always right there. I'd probably like her to push a little harder at times when I'm studying her a little bit. She gives me the views, but she takes a little longer. But that pig travels a little tighter off his rear leg, so it takes him a little longer, but she keeps him working. That pig is as calm as she is, by the way. They're perfect together. And she is very consistent, and I give her a lot of credit for that. The young lady here with the red shirt and the target marked hog here that's really nicely fitted. She's another one that's in control. Very, very calm, very methodical in her situation, keeps the pig moving well. I would say in some cases, when you're driving that pig for me, I'd like to see that pig drive a little further, not too far, and then a little wider turns. You were doing that better in the final drive, but some of those turns were really hard on that pig. And then what it is, it just makes them look a little, it bunches them up a little bit, you know what I mean? So try to avoid that as much as you can. Like you're doing now is fine. And also when you drive that hog and you're in front of me, try to see if you can get him to come to me a little more consistently. I saw him once, but try to drive, I'd like to see that chest floor in that pig a little more often as well. Young lady right here in front of me, the third one here, another good showman. Very flashy, good eye contact, very calm, always in control, knows where she's going. I could tell in her mind she's thinking about where she wants to go next. I can sense that when I watch this girl show, and she does a good job. She's not very rarely out of position. She keeps that pig moving around. Once in a while, I got in there one time and I ran right over her. I didn't even see the pig because I wasn't looking, but that was my fault. But she keeps that pig at the right spot at the right time, 9 times out of 10, and does a great job. As with this one right here with the blue gilt, just an attractive individual that's nicely fitted. She too works really hard. She has to probably work a little harder on this pig's front end. He doesn't hit get the whip quite as well as some of the other pigs. Not terrible. She shows the pig really well. Probably one of the more difficult ones to show out here. Not a knothead by any means, but one that maybe when he gets going like that, but once in a while on the turn, she has to apply a little more pressure to get him to rotate, get the gilt to come around. But she keeps it under control. You wouldn't know it. She works really well with that. And I give her credit for being able to work with different situations as she had here in the ring today. So congratulations to the 4 of you, and I'll go ahead and place you now. At this time, my ribbon lady, I've got the 4th place ribbon, please. The 4th place ribbon will go to this young lady here with the red shirt, please. Give her a nice hand. She does a wonderful job. Congratulations. 3rd will be the young lady right here next to you. And then 1st and 2nd, again, a close decision as always. It's okay, no problem, no problem. It's always a close decision. But for me today, the one that she had it on lock the whole time and made very, very few mistakes. It was her show to win. It was this young lady right here. She'll be champion. Young lady over there will be reserved. Congratulations. Well done, young lady. You did a great job as well. Boys, come on out here. I want to take it. Come on now. You competed well against these girls, okay? I was having some fun with you guys. You guys ran really hard. It's just at the end when we're getting the drives in there in terms of getting as many drives as the girls, you weren't coming in front of me quite as often. As far as what you did in the preliminary drive, especially this guy, took me a while to find him, but once he got in front of me, I'm like, oh, this guy can show. And you do a good job, buddy. You really do. Just got to get him out there a little more consistently for me. Keep that drive going all the time. You too, young man. You just got behind a few pigs a few times. You were there, but I didn't see you quite as often. But you guys have them nicely fitted, a great pair of hogs, and a great pair of showmen. Congratulations to both of you guys. Let's give them all another nice hand. Yeah, 5th and 6th.
Congratulations to our champion senior, Chloe Stevens. Excellent job. She is the recipient of a belt buckle sponsored by Big John Septic Service and a scholarship sponsored by Northeastern Junior College. Our reserve senior showman is Hayden Perkins. Third overall senior showman is Kylie Kaiser. Fourth overall senior showman is Ellie Davis. Fifth overall senior showman is Garrett Millsap, apologize there. And sixth overall is Jake King. Again, congratulations to all of our senior showmen. At this time, we have the Grand and Reserve from Grand and Reserve in all three of our divisions, and we will select for a Grand and Reserve overall showman from our divisions. looks like we've got all 6 of our showmanship finalists here this evening. As we introduce our young folks, our champion junior showman, coming out of a very competitive junior flight, is Maylee McLennan. Go ahead, yep, come on in. Excellent job, young lady. Excellent job. Champion, yes, champion junior showman, Maylee McLennan. Your reserve junior showman, also doing a fantastic job, is Lauren Rushton. Congratulations, Lauren. Excellent job. Coming out of our intermediate division, our champion intermediate is Ellie Stevens. Congratulations, Ellie. Your reserve intermediate is Audrey Davis. Congratulations, Audrey. And fresh off of a senior showmanship win and bringing in the big money, our champion senior showman is Chloe Stevens. And our 6th finalist for this evening, reserve senior showman, is Hayden Perkins. Congratulations. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the 6th best showman in the barn this evening. Let's go ahead and give them a nice round of applause for making it into our Supreme Showman Drive.
Okay, these are, as our MC did for us, he did a nice job, by the way, introducing our youngsters here at the grand finale. This is kind of a neat little activity to put these kids together from the youngest to oldest. And if you sit there and watch this happen here, there's not a huge gap between the youngest and the oldest, believe me, okay? And the youngest are pretty darn good, and the oldest is really good. It's amazing how quickly these young people pick up on some of this, and some of it's natural ability when you talk about the coordination and presentation and things like that. But all 6 of the young ladies out here are pretty phenomenal showmen, and I wouldn't mind having them drive a hog for me anytime. They're awfully good, and I want to commend you guys for your efforts. And I'm going to go out there and shake the hand of the champion and reserve champion overall showman for the Colorado State Fair, I guess. Let's put our hands together one more time for the kids.
Our grand overall showman coming out of the senior division is Chloe Stevens. Congratulations, Chloe. You will receive an award sponsored by the Colorado State Fair. And our reserve overall showman, also coming out of the senior division, is Hayden Perkins. Congratulations. We will see you all bright and early tomorrow.